Hi, my name is Dave. Today I'm going to show you a very old Unitron 152, 4-inch, and this is a 100 millimeter f15. The 100 millimeters is important because very early on they called them 100 millimeters, and they're supposed to be better objectives. This objective is a very, very nice objective, that's true. But I'm not sure, it's hard to generalize about such things. Anyway, it's a wonderful telescope, but boy, it's certainly got some antique features that make it challenging, to say the least. Notice how nicely balanced this is and how it moves. Everything is very carefully balanced to be quite close so that your eyepiece doesn't move very far, even when you're at the lowest or highest. You're going to be in a very convenient position. However, that comes at a huge cost. Inside here is a very large, heavy counterweight. And the counterweight here on the end is also extremely large. Notice how it's placed clear to the end of the counterweight shaft. And by the way, there's no flexibility here. You've got one and only one position for that thing. So it had better balance pretty darn closely or you're in trouble. And of course it was designed to be perfect for this with this internal counterweight inside here. That internal counterweight is about 8 pounds, which is nearly the weight of the whole telescope OTA. So it just effectively doubles it. This OTA is excruciatingly heavy for its size. Very hard to lift and heft around. So this convenience comes at a huge price. They quickly changed that so that there was no longer any internal counterweight. By I think the late 50s, certainly maybe after 55, 56, something like that, they no longer placed the internal counterweight inside these scopes. Look at the difference in height between these two tripods. This is the older pre-1956 tripod, and this is newer being relative, late 1950s, maybe 1960s. Anyway, newer tripod. They lengthened the legs, put everything up higher. This is about a 9-inch difference in height, and that has a lot to do with the stature of the old 1952 telescope. They also made this into a threaded rod here so you could move the counterweight up and down the shaft to actually make it a useful counterweight system. Without the internal counterweight, this thing is balanced quite a bit differently. Look at this. Notice how far up the counterweight is placed on the counterweight shaft. Balance is pretty close to perfect here. Still a little heavy on the counterweight, but it's quite a different story. Notice how much further the tube is back here. So this becomes a little bit lower, maybe a little bit more difficult to reach. Some circumstances you're bending over a bit more. Not too bad, but it's quite a dramatic difference. Okay, let's have a good overall look at this Unitron telescope. First of all, you can see that it's a fairly classic Unitron telescope. These are quite different. These are very old. I've got it set up right now for solar observing. These are original. You can see how old this thing is. A lot of this thing has been restored. New paint here. This, by the way, is original, so that's a pretty good match, I would say. A lot of cleanup done on this scope when I got it. It's a beautiful old scope. Boy, has it got idiosyncrasies. My goodness. The objective is superb. Performance on the scope is wonderful. I was pretty confused by the difference in size. Look how big this setting circle, that's the right ascension setting circle, look how big that is compared to this one. So the RA setting circle is much smaller, and I wondered why, until I saw this. Because of the way this is configured, that just barely clears. You move that around. You can see quite a bit of corrosion on this thing. This is brand new. I had to make this. It's broken off right up here. I had to make that and the internal part that goes with it. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at this Unitron 100mm f/1500mm telescope from the early 1950s. Thank you very much for watching.